This is Grilled by the Staff Canteen, and in this episode, Deputy Editor Tanny headed to the Connaught to meet Hélène Darroze, who has relaunched her eponymous restaurant. She spoke to Helene about how she likes to run her kitchens, why she doesn't like her team to call her chef, and how she manages to maintain a work-life balance. She also spoke to Helene about Michelin, how it feels to lose a star, and her thoughts on the guides.
Hi everyone, we are here with Hélène Darroze at her eponymous restaurant at the Connaught in Mayfair, celebrating the reopening of her restaurant after renovation work. Hello Hélène.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. A bit excited, a bit stressed also, but it will be okay.
Good. So why did you feel the need to relaunch the restaurant, and what can people expect from the relaunch?
But in fact, we opened this restaurant 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And nothing has changed since this opening. So it was time for us to put ourselves in question on all the sides, in fact, in terms of the ambience and the experience in the fine dining, in the dining room, but also it's also the opportunity to put ourselves in question regarding how the food and the cuisine could progress and could grow up, in fact.
Yeah. So what changes have you made to the menu, to the design, to the kitchen?
So all the design is new. It's a complete new restaurant for sure. It's a complete new ambiance. In fact, it was done and created by Pierre Jovanovic, a very famous designer, French one. And we worked together on a room. I wanted to have more light. I wanted something lighter than before. Because we have these wooden panels in the dining room, which are there and which are beautiful and which we cannot move. But I wanted them to, they were very dark before. Now I wanted to have them very lighter, and so that we work on that. And after we create an ambience, an atmosphere, a design. Very feminine, in fact, very soft, very elegant, very the Connaught perhaps is an institution, is like a club, is perhaps a little bit masculine. So that's the place, this fine dining with me at the top. I think it's really the opportunity to bring a feminine touch. So that's what I wanted to do, and that's why, and we worked on that with Pierre Jovanovic. The big change also is the addition of a chef's table in the kitchen. We moved the kitchen. In fact, in place of the old kitchen, there is this chef's table now, and our kitchen moved on another place, just in front of course, because the idea of a chef's table is for the guest attending the table, attending the dinner or the lunch, is to watch what is happening in the kitchen. So the chef's table is in front of the kitchen, very spectacular, I think.
It's quite big, isn't it? It seats quite a lot of tables.
Yeah. For sure, the first dinner on the chef's table will be this evening, just the day of the reopening. But okay, it's a bit challenging, but it will be like that. And so we will see how many people we can fit. For sure, 10 people. Perhaps we can go up to 12. We will see. There will be also. It's not really done for the moment, but there will be also a very intimate room, which will be all around the Armagnac of my family, and so that will be something very special, but that is not finalized yet. It will be, I assume, in a few days. So that's something also which will be important. And then on the cuisine side, on what we cook, in fact, the instruction I gave to my chef is to work more and more closely with the UK producer. I think we must have a responsibility now with sustainability, and yes, there is no sense, no reason to not to work with local products and local producer. So that's the aim. That's what I want to do, what I want, where I want to put the focus, knowing that of course some of the products will continue to come from my Southwest because it's my culture, and I want to keep my personality, and I want to keep my style, but it will be a very good mix, and I'm sure we will discover more and more very interesting products and producer as long as we do some research.
Yeah. And the dishes will still reflect your heritage and your region.
But the dishes, it's always the same philosophy, you know. It's first you choose a product, and it's according the season, it's according the market. That is very important. And around this product, you put your emotions, you put what you have inside you. And what I have inside me, of course, it's a big part of my education and my roots, all this heritage that I have from my family and from my country. But it's also some travels, it's also some encounters, etc. So it's all about the products, its respect, and its respect is the taste. What I again this morning I had a speech with my sous chef, and I told them, you know, of course you choose a product, but you keep the taste of the product. You respect it. So that is very important. So product, respect of the taste, and then of course bringing a lot of emotions on that, bringing a lot of humor on that.
Yeah.
So that's how we will continue to work.
Brilliant. In terms of your restaurant here, in comparison to your two restaurants in Paris, did you, when you came here 11 years ago, did you find it difficult to please a British palate? Did you have to adapt what you'd made, or
not at all? I remember when the management of the Connaught came to approach me, in fact, to speak about this project, and when we started to speak seriously and to say that yes, we will collaborate together. I remember that I told them that what was important for me is to continue to be myself, exactly like I am in Paris. And they answered straight away, but that's why we want you. So of course I always follow my line and my philosophy and my taste, and hopefully it worked really well with the British public. It went really well. So it was appreciated, etc. So I didn't change my philosophy, and I think I will never change it. I will continue to work in his way, and I had a very good feedback, a very good reaction from the guests of the Connaught. And of course the guests of the Connaught, there are a lot of British people, but there are also a lot of French people for sure, and a lot of people coming from everywhere around the world. So it's interesting to see how they are happy with what we do here.
Okay, I want to ask you a little bit more about yourself. You in France were named a Chevalier de la Légion d'honneur, so you were a knight. You were named the best female chef in the world, and yet I've heard that you don't like your team to call you chef.
Why
is that?
Sure. But just because I don't call them Komi or thing. I call them by their name, so they can call me by my name. You know, it's not because they will call me chef that they will respect me more or not. It's just a question for me. You know, you don't install hierarchy or authority because you are named chef. It's just because you work with them, you communicate with them, you teach them something, you delegate, it's about transmission also. So, and for me, I prefer them saying Hélène, then chef. After it's difficult because they have that's not very instinctive, you know. So sometimes I'm obliged to say no, I'm not chef, I am Hélène, and but yeah, it's something that I prefer working in this way. But now for me, it's like a detail that.
Yeah. But is this something that you learned at Louis XV, or is this something that you learned at your restaurant?
No.
What was it like that?
No, it's from me. It's from me. It's like that. I am Hélène, and yes, I am their chef. But that is a fact, and it's on a day life that I'm acting as their chef, and it's not because they will call me chef that I will be a better chef or a stronger chef, or that my position will be stronger. It's just by the work I deliver and the transmission I gave to them.
Yeah, of course. And what about, so you've always been not an advocate, but you've always, at least in your Parisian restaurant, employed a lot of female chefs.
But I would love to have more, for sure.
Yeah.
In all my restaurants, but I have some, of course. I have some, and yeah, it's good, but unfortunately, I don't have enough. Just because, of course, there are more men than women in this level of cuisine, of experience, and just because I think it's not a question of talent, it's not a question of competence, because there are a lot of women, of female chefs with a lot of competence and a lot of talent.
Yeah.
The only problem is that, of course, when you get older, when you are a woman, but of course you have a family, you have children, or you want to have children, and it's difficult to manage all that.
Yeah, of course. But you, of course, so you're a single mum, you have two lovely daughters.
Yeah.
And you have 3 restaurants in 2 countries. Across those 2 countries, you've got 3 Michelin stars. How do you manage that work-life balance?
I don't know if I manage well. I try to do my best. I try to do my best. First, I have to say that I became a mom when I was 40, so I wait a lot because I was not ready. I didn't have the people around me who allow me to delegate, so I had to wait a little bit. And then I managed that because I have people working with me for a long time now, and they know my philosophy, they know my style, they know they are able to take decision in my place, and so there's and it's a balance on everything. I also have a good organization at home, and I don't feel guilty. Of course, I'm not always at home. Of course, I'm not here every night to tell the little story, and but we have an organization, and we have. But I spend a lot of time with my girls also, and this time is very special. I try to make it very special, and to be honest, for example, this weekend they joined me here, and they were part of this opening, and they could see, this passion that we have. That we all have to make this project happen, etc. And that's very interesting for them to see this kind of thing and to be educated in this way.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to want to be chefs one day?
I have no idea. I don't. For the moment, they say no. So so I have no idea. I just want them to follow their passion. That's what I want.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about Michelin. So you've got. Obviously, the awards are coming up here very soon. You've got 2 stars here. You used to have 2 stars in Paris, right? And you now have 1? Is that correct?
In fact, I lost the second one a little bit at the same time that I win the second one here.
Yeah, so that must have been like a mixed bag of emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
How did it feel on the side of losing a star? Did you feel like something had changed, or did you feel it coming, or was it a complete surprise?
Well, To be honest, at this time it was a surprise. I didn't expect that, but I didn't expect also when I had the two, even in London, etc. So it's something that you cannot feel, etc. But so, and of course, when it happened, me, I remember being very sad in Paris because for my team, because it was at this time when I was more in London than in Paris, and they felt guilty straight away. They were very touched, etc. So I was more thinking of them, and I wanted to take care of them than thinking to myself. But you know, at the end of the day, what is important, of course, it's when you get a star, it's a big joy, happiness, etc. Of course, huh? But at the end of the day, it's also the guest. You know that what I want is a full restaurant with happy people that will come back, and that is so. Of course, it's linked. Of course, if your people are happy, the stars come at one stage. But yeah, that's we have this responsibility to give happiness twice a day to the people who choose to come in your restaurant, and I'm focused on that. In fact, that's what is very important for me.
Yeah, of course. So there are lots of critics of Michelin as always this sort of guide, because it's so it's quite cryptic and nobody really knows what the rules are.
Yeah, nobody never knew, and it's like a secret extra. But of course, there are a lot of critics, but we all know also that it's the reference, you know. Yeah. As a chef, you cannot say the contrary. You are looking at that. You are sometimes some chefs are making the choice not to be a part of the Michelin and to take a step back, etc. And why not? But for most of the chef, Michelin is the
it will
reference.
Always be a reference.
Yeah, of course.
So what do you think of the people that do, like Marc Vera and Sébastien Braque?
I assume that they have the good reasons to do that, and I can understand, because it's a lot of pressure. It could be a lot of disappointment, but I respect their choice. After I just I just hope, but I'm sure they were that they did that in the good way with the Michelin, because the Michelin is an institution, and they needed it at one stage, so they should respect that, you know. They should respect, and I hope they explain them why it happened like that, etc. But I'm sure they did. I'm sure. Mm-hmm. I'm sure. After that's their choice. I know that it's for the moment. You know, it's very helpful also to be part of the Michelin and on the commercial side, and it helps you.
It's important to respect.
It's important, yeah, exactly. You know, you and you know, me, when I lost the star, of course I was very sad, and I say, okay, my God, is it fair or not, etc. Of course, you have this kind of reaction, but. As long as you are agree to win star, you should also be okay when you lose them. You know, it's at the end, it's game, that's the game. Okay, mm-hmm. And you don't complain when you receive them. So when you lose them, my way of reacting was to put myself and the team in question, and to find a new motivation, and
Yeah. And are you hoping to get it back for your newly relaunched also in Paris, Marsan?
Yeah. But I hope so, yeah. I hope so.
And you opened another restaurant called Joya? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Is that something that you are hoping to get accolades for in the future, or is it Or is it
Joya
something?
is a bistro with a special ambiance, with a food which is about sharing, generosity, etc. It's a very successful place, and I think everybody loves this place and come back, and there is a nice ambiance, and it's about joy. Joya, that's the name. So it's something perhaps that I would like to duplicate now in some other places, and why not in London?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, sure.
And so ahead of the UK guide, I won't ask you for your French predictions, but are there any restaurants that you see over here that you think, wow, they deserve a star, or they deserve another star that this year you think maybe?
Yeah, in the UK? Mm-hmm. To be honest, I didn't have a lot of time to visit my colleague this year, because between the refurbishment in Paris and the refurbishment in London, I was very, very involved in my daily occupation. So it's difficult for me. There are some tables that I will have loved to discover. The one of, to be honest, I didn't take the time for the moment to visit Claire Smith, or even to visit Alex, my former chef at the greenhouse. So it's difficult to give an opinion on the only that it's very difficult. I was not enough involved this year. I didn't visit enough places to give an opinion like that.
It's very busy.
Yeah, I was. This year was very special. Now I hope next year will be better.
Good. Okay, so my last question is, and it's a little bit of a joke, but do you think that French food is the best food in the world?
No, I don't think so. I think that all the food are interesting and are very good. I'm a fan of Italian kitchen. I'm a fan of Japanese kitchen. I'm a fan of Thailand kitchen, cuisine. Food. There is interest. There is interest in so many cuisines. So I don't have okay, in France we are very lucky because it's something very cultural, and we are lucky because also we have several regions, several places. So you can if you go in Alsace, you will have a completely different food than if you go to Nice, or if you go to Bordeaux, or if you go to Brittany. So that's one of the reasons why French cuisine is so interested, because it's so diverse. After the thing I'm sure about the fact that a lot of chefs from everywhere in the world came to be inspired in France. So so there is a reason why. For sure, it's to cook and to share around the table, and the art de la table and the art de vivre around the table. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA as French people. So of course we inspired a lot of people and a lot of chefs. But to say that we are the best, nobody is the best. There is interest and taste and in every cuisine. In fact, me, I love traveling, and I always have pleasure to eat local food wherever I am.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Hélène. It's been an honour, and best of luck with the relaunch.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this interview, and if you have any comments, feel free to tweet us or comment on the post. We're making all of our interviews available to download. And finally, if you like what we do, whether it's our podcast or our videos or even our features, please head over to our Patreon page and support us there.